You can also get things like joint pain and soreness. Hey guys, Dantix here, back with another Starfield video. I'm so incredibly pumped for this game that I thought, hey, why not meticulously comb through every scrap of information so you don't have to? In this video, there are 38 things you may have missed in the Starfield showcase. Be honest in the comments and let me know just how many you actually noticed, because there's a lot. Anyone getting over 30 has some big brain energy, but if I pointed out something new, drop a like. Also, if you want to win yourself a 3080 or a copy of Starfield, stick around until the end of the video. Let's begin. Here's a beautiful sequence, except for the flying creatures in the background. They're hostile, as shown in the UI as red dots. So yes, you'll be fighting flying alien creatures. The presence of lightning here may mean dynamic weather, which will add another dimension to the already vast and varied environments. Will you need to seek shelter during particularly violent weather? We'll just have to wait and see. Here we have what looks to be a barren planet, except this monument here looks an awful lot like the St. Louis monument in Missouri, USA. It's so similar that I would be surprised if it isn't. If it is the case, this post-apocalyptic Earth is the reason why there's no one left on the planet. We get a look at this solar system here, and Earth does not look like your typical blue marble. What happened? No doubt we'll find out why Earth is abandoned and why we took to the stars. You can scan the environment around you in order to catalog what you see and get more information. When in scan mode, however, your watch UI shows further details: the current temperature, O2 levels, and gravity, all three of which will affect your gameplay. Temperature, we're unclear completely how it affects your character, but cold environments will do things like freeze water instantly. Low O2 levels will impact your stamina, and gravity will influence how far and high you can jump. Ammo is weightless, which explains how Bethesda staff were able to carry so much of it. Here we see the data menu. You'll notice 5 dots around the circle indicating menu items. We have star map, skills, ships, missions, and inventory, but you'll notice that there's space at the top for another that's not shown yet. This is one of the hidden things that even I missed. Reddit Professional Cut 6408. Notice that in some of the footage, we see the menu again, but it has that extra dot at the top. The character is level 22. My suspicion is that we unlock some kind of space magic system similar to Shouts in Skyrim at a particular point in the story, and this is where they'll be housed. We know you'll be special from the start, with the artifact speaking to you, and Todd himself suggesting that the game tries to make you stand out, and this might be one way they do it. Here are some example food items, most restoring your health. Orange juice, however, negatively affects your health, draining your health while boosting your O2 levels. I guess space juice is just real-time unhealthy. If you remember, alcohol had a stamina boosting effect, but lowered your stamina regen in the Elder Scrolls games. I thought that would be more deadly to your health than orange juice, but here we are. Vasco checks his nails and hands like a human. Welcome back, Captain Howard. Perhaps his goal is to become more human, just like Data from Star Trek. Notice that his minigun laser is covered when not in combat. In my last video, there was a debate whether we'll be able to land in and enter water. I don't think landing is possible, but I can't imagine we won't be able to at least enter water. We see here that water has descriptors: radioactive, none, and safe. So why would they say water is safe for you if you couldn't interact with it? Maybe this is mentioned because you can harvest water for safe drinking at your settlement. Then radioactive water might need treatment first, which is why they show that description. Same with biological. Not sure what you'd do about heavy metal water though. Here we see a beach and a lake. At the very least, you'll be able to tread water. We know you can choose anywhere on a planet to land that's safe, but if you look closely, you'll see it names the area for you. In this case, coniferous forest, and shows you progress in it. Do also know that planets have traits you can discover with the astrophysics skill. Tidacha 1 has the trait gravitational anomaly, and those are the kinds of ruins that you'll no doubt want to be finding. They may be procedurally placed on unexplored planets, so discovering traits will be very valuable. Another trait might include high resources. To get from system to system, we need to grav jump. Our ship has a max fuel capacity, and that dictates how far it can jump rather than how long it can fly around for. What is to note that is you can't just jump through multiple systems. You need to explore them first. So if we want to go from Porimar to Linaeus 2, we can't without exploring Kyrix and Lunara. By exploring, I mean visiting. There's a bounty system in the game, as you might have suspected, but here we can see it. Each system is run by a faction. For example, Sol System is run by the United Colonies. At the top we see we have a bounty of 650 credits with them, meaning that we were probably caught stealing from them. Here we see a much larger bounty with the Freestar Collective at 12,000 credits. This has to be murder, right? So if you have a bounty with a faction, those systems will become more dangerous for you. You can have face tattoos and customize their look. We've seen a Maori in game, which I think is an excellent addition. Not everything has to be black and white. This is the beginning of the character creator. Before you get to this wake up, who are you style sequence, you'll be involved in a beginning sequence when you find and touch this artifact, the one in her hand. It seems to react to you specifically, leading you on a quest to find out more. That leads you to Constellation and captaining your own ship. The mysterious artifacts most likely give you powers, so finding more shards will link together to create gates that may give you new abilities like the walls did in Skyrim. We can see here that even if you lock in your look, it can be changed later at a genetics facility, so don't stress too hard over what you look like. Your backgrounds and your traits will mean more. Now, does this preset character look familiar? No, it's not Basil Fawlty, it's the astronaut Chris Hadfield. Discovered by the Redditor, My Name is Volvo, Chris has flown 2 space shuttle missions and served as a commander of the International Space Station. So what do they eat at a fancy restaurant in space? Trello bites, of course. Okay, 1%, stop trying to sell us on bugs, we aren't eating bugs. Did something feel off about this level up when you first watched it? You've got a keen eye if so. This is a level 45 creature and you get 75 experience per killing. Wait, no, you get 4,356 experience and go right to level 10. Yes, this was clearly a console commander level up. The good news is we know to get from level 1 to level 10 or to level 9 to level 10 is 4,356 experience. More disrespectful though is showing us that a low level character can kill a level 45. Compare this to destroying a whole ship which gives 80 experience. In Fallout 4 there was rad damage that lowered your max health amount. It seems like in Starfield there'll be a similar thing. Here we see a yellow bar that filled from the right to the left and we see it again here. Perhaps it's toxins in a particularly unwelcoming world. Now, No Man's Sky had wacky and random creatures, but Starfield wants theirs to feel like more native wildlife rather than crazy. Here we see an example. These creatures are not just walking around, they're grazing on vegetation. These are nice small details in what I can assume is a lot of different creature models they've had to make. You can land on Pluto and it's what you'd expect. You can also land on Mercury and other planets and moons in the Sol system, like Io. You can buy, steal, or build your own ships, as you know, but did you notice their value? This ship here, the Voyager 3, is valued at 656,300 credits. A huge payday if you stole it from someone. By comparison, the Frontier, which is your starting ship, is only worth 7,375 credits. Only a handful of Trello bytes. Ships will be massive. Here we see the small ship they mentioned in the showcase. Compare it with the human here. It's still quite big. Then we have this monster. It seems like this radius indicates the max ship length, as anything else wouldn't fit in the yard, though we know we can build upwards as seen by the mech. So you built your ship, time to name it. Here we see the dumpster fire. What will you name yours? This is the crew allocation system. We can see Constellation members Barrett, Sam, and Sarah, as well as Hela, who we just found on the moon, and Marika, who we just hired. What's interesting though is that Barrett is unassigned at a Crimson Fleet outpost. What is he doing hanging out with pirates? Or perhaps, like the Fallout 4 expansion, we can make bad guy outposts if we choose the pirate life. Also note that we can have bots at our settlements and ships. The mini security bot protecting our Jemison outpost. With the targeting control system skill, you can have your ship target particular systems on enemy vessels, as was shown, but you may not have noticed that the pilot was using lasers to bring down the shields and then switches to ballistics to take out the hull. Different weapon types will do different damage. Weapons can crit, and no, it's not tied to headshots. There's a skill or a set chance you can crit with weapons. So when you take out ship's engines or leave it dead in the water, you can board, clear out its crew, and then you can take it for your own. Well, it seems you can fly your ship with the enemy ship still attached. You can see it here. If you look closely below your ship, this is the ecliptic stiletto you disabled and boarded before. When you consider ships have the status of registered and unregistered, maybe you need to take it somewhere to be fenced or find a way to make it legal, else bounties are incoming if you're scanned with a stolen ship. Here we see the player entering a building. What's this? A short loading screen? Okay, pre-order cancelled, get me off the train. Icon Era thinks that this is the end of gaming as we know it. When in combat, you might see enemies with red bars below their white health bar. So what is that? It's armor. Taking down a white health bar will fully remove 1 pip of armor, so with 3 pips, you've got to get through 3 health bars. though I suspect you can use things that pierce armor. There are item rarities in Starfield. Legendaries come with 3 affixes on items, where lower rarities have less, and there's also unique named items in the game. There'll be a host of interesting creatures in Starfield, but did you know that they can have abilities? When scanning, we see this hunting sailgator has a ranged mouth attack, and this swarming dragon has burning damage. Its temperament is wary, so just don't piss it off and keep your distance. I'm sure you'll avoid burning to death. Though nothing is going to stop you from getting sick. Here we see the character has developed a cough, noted on the watch UI. You can also get things like joint pain and soreness. No idea what they do just yet, but no doubt they'll require your medical attention, else you get to deal with a debuff. You can build your own outpost almost anywhere on any planet, but did you know that this will set a waypoint for you, and if you've built a landing pad, this is where your ship will land. I can foresee people building fortresses only accessible from space. Yes, there are snipers in the game, and yes, you can hold your breath to stabilize before taking a shot. You'll notice that this consumes oxygen to do so. An elegant way oxygen works better than stamina as a concept. Here we see the player using a mag weapon and a freezing landmine to take out a robot Model S, the Model S's needing better cooling than the Model X's. What you might not have seen is that the player fully heals after a kill. I originally thought this was a skill, but we can see it's because the player levels up. Finally, we have this shot. The positioning makes me think that this is the player character, but they're wearing some kind of weird alien suit. It's more likely that this is just some alien creature, but the way it's standing on the rock and its limbs make me believe it's not. There's definitely some shenanigans going on here, and there's clearly more to this NASA punk theme than we've been told. And that's everything. So how many did you get? Let me know below. I recently upgraded to a 4090, so why not give away my 3080 and a few copies of Starfield? If you want to be in the running, all you need to do is be subscribed, hit the bell, and like and comment on my Starfield videos. For more entries, do the same on other Starfield videos or check out my Twitter and Discord. The winner will be chosen using RNG, so more entries give you more chances. Best of luck and thank you so much for watching. I'll be covering the game more than anyone else, so be sure to stay tuned. Ciao friends.